But we're talking about adapting your investments. And so what happens when people show up at our office is many times I just tell them to bring their stuff, right? Now, Darren's much more precise than I am. So when you talk about adapting investments, what are you trying to help people do?
What we find a lot is that, over a lifetime, people who have been investing, they may have got a life insurance policy at some point. They may have got into an annuity at some point where it made sense at that time in their life.
Or where they thought it made sense.
They thought it made sense, or it just based off the current conditions at that time when they bought it, it made sense most of the time. But they get to a point where maybe they don't need that life insurance anymore. Maybe they don't need that annuity policy anymore. So when we look at adapting, we look at the options of, do we want to keep it? Do we want to transfer it to another like account, or do we want to surrender it? Those are things that we can kind of help simplify and make sure the money is working for them in the best way possible.
So let's say I've got a life insurance policy and it tells me that I've got $25,000 worth of cash value in it. Mm-hmm. What are you going to do?
I want to know what the cost basis is first.
What's that mean?
The cost basis is generally the amount that you've paid into the policy. It might be affected one way or another, but in general, it's how much that you put in. And so everything.
Why does that matter?
Well, everything that you put in has already been taxed. So when it comes out, if it was to come out, those dollars are never going to get taxed. So if there's anything above it, that gain, that is taxable as ordinary income. But sometimes the policy actually have more in it. Your cost basis is higher than the actual cash value, and there's other options we can look at for that situation as well. So knowing that cost basis kind of helps us start to figure out what decision would be best.
Okay, so let's look at this. I put $25,000 into a life insurance policy. Mm-hmm. We've called the company. This is something we do for you. You don't have to do this. We've called the life insurance company, and the life insurance company tells me my basis is $50,000, mm-hmm. and I've only got $25,000. Right? So if I surrender it, what's my tax implication?
0.
How's come?
Because your
sounds like I had a loss.
You did have a loss, but you have 0% taxation because the cost basis is greater than what's actually in the account.
The cost basis is greater than what's in the account, so I pay no taxes.
Right.
I also do not get to deduct it.
Correct.
That is a critical part of this deal.